Fractions, multiplication and division. Let's see example here. We are asked to find missing term x here, for which 3 over 5 equals 18 over x. So there are few ways to look at it. One, try to look for pattern 3 to 18. How do we go from 3 to 18? And that is by multiplying by 6. So similarly then, to go from 5 to x, it will be multiplied by 6. So 6 times 5 will give us x. So in that case, 5 times 6, x will be 30. This is one way to look at it. Another possible way is we cross multiply. So we multiply 3 with x, 5 with 18. So denominator from here to the numerator here and denominator here to the numerator there. In that case, what we end up getting is 3x equals 5 times 18. So if you want x alone, we divide both sides by 3 and then 3 and 18 reduces to 6. So x equals 5 times 6, which is 30. Either way, we end up getting 30. Let's look at the second one here. If x over 10 equals 0.83, what will be x? So we do opposite operation. Here x is being divided by 10. Opposite of dividing by 10 is multiplying by 10. So we multiply both sides by 10. On the left side we get x. On the right side we get 8.3. So x will be 8.3 there. Let's look at another one. How many quarters are there in 1.2? So if you want to find out how many quarters are there in 1.2, basically we just divide 1.2 with quarter. Now dividing by 1.2 with quarter, we can write like this too, divide by 1 over 4. Now 1.2 divide by a quarter, divide by to multiply, we flip this, so 1 over 4 becomes 4 over 1. So technically we end up multiplying by 4 here. So 1.2 times 4 is 4.8. So there are 4.8 quarters in 1.2. Let's see some more here. Now, what if we were to multiply fractions in mixed and proper form? What we can do here is, first, if it is given to us in mixed form, we'll convert it into improper fraction. So here for the 2 and 3/5, it will be 2 times 5, which will be 10, plus 3, which will be 13. So we have 13 over 5 times 5 over 7 times 6. Now multiplication is basically we reduce if possible. We reduce a numerator with another denominator. So here 5 and 5 will be reduced, and that's all we can do. We cannot reduce 13 and 7 or 6 and 7. Nothing can be done there. So then 13 times 6 will give us 78 in the numerator. Divide by 7. Because your assessment test will be multiple choice, if one of the choice is not this, it might be in mixed fraction. So if it was in mixed fraction, if this is not one of your choices, you'll have to convert this into mixed fraction. How many 7s can go into 78? That's 11, because 11 times 7 will be 77. 78, 77, so the remainder is 1. So one of these two can be your answer. Okay. Now let's see what if we were to do some complex like this, some complex problem like this. It's like subtraction, another subtraction, and then division. So we have few options. One, we can deal with numerator separately, denominator separately. Once we get the answers, what we'll end up doing then is divide the answers. So let's look at the numerator. So I'll say n for the numerator. It's 3 subtract 2 over 5. Now 3 is same as 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 2 and 5 over 5. Why did I choose 5 over 5? Because there is a 5 here. So it's good idea to then put it as 5 over 5. If this was a 4, I would put it as a 4 over 4. So 2 and a 1, it will be 3 as we need. Subtract 2 over 5. Subtract 2 over 5. So whole numbers, 2 and no whole number here, 0. So 2 and 0 will be 2. And 5 over 5, subtract 2 over 5 will give us 3 over 5. And that's what we get for the first part, numerator. Now for the denominator, we have 2 subtract a quarter. So 2, I can say it is 1 plus 1. So 1 and 4 over 4, because that's 1 plus 1, which is back to 2. Subtract a quarter. So it will be 1 and 3 quarters. And now we need to divide those two numbers. But if it is in mixed fraction, we don't know how to divide them. So we'll convert them into improper fractions. So the numerator is now 5 times 2, which is 10, plus 3, which is 13, over 5, and denominator 4 times 1, which will give us 4, plus 3, which will be 7 over 4. Now dividing those two numbers, we can write like this. We can write 13 over 5. We can write 13 over 5 divided by 7 over 4. Now if you were to change division to multiplication, we flip this, so times by 4 over 7. We try to reduce this, but none of them can be reduced. 4 and 13 cannot be reduced by 5 or 7, and 4 cannot be reduced by 5 and 7, 5 or 7, none of them. So 13 times 4, in the numerator, we will have 52. Denominator will be 35. And then how many 35s can go into 52? We know 35 times 2 is 70. So then only one of them, so it's 1. And then 35 here. And then we say 52 minus 35, that should give us 17. So we will have 1 and 17 over 35 as our final answer.